it really depends on the people who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
What they'll say, even if they say something that is negative, try to sift it.
Yeah.
Just know that God brought you to this world with a purpose.
Yeah.
Strive to find that purpose and walk within it. Work towards it, no matter what other naysayers will say.
Hi everyone, my name is Margaret Mbesa and welcome to Shift Agrihub Show. In today's episode, we are joined by Samuel Baraka, an agripreneur in the value addition space.
My name is Samuel Baraka, an agripreneur. I run a company by the name of Hebs by International Limited that produces 4 varieties of peanut butter, jaggary and honey under the brand name of Natural Barakah. As you can see, these are our product range. The 4, as I've told you earlier, the 4 varieties of peanut butter. The first one being peanut butter mixed with sesame, cashew nut and flaxseed, which is highly nutritious. And the second one being peanut butter mixed with cashew nuts, which is also nutritious. The third one being peanut butter mixed with sesame. And the last one being peanut butter plain. And also, as I said, that we also have jaggary, which is natural sugar, and honey, which I'd love that for you to try.
Yes. So your range of products are mainly from nuts, seeds, and honey.
Yeah, our range of products are mainly, as you've said, nuts, seeds, and honey. And also, sorry, I forgot to mention, we also have jaggary, which is from sugarcane. We also do have that one for people who might be allergic to the commercial sugars and also allergic to honey. They can be able to use the jaggary as a substitute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what motivated you to get into this form of production, and specifically the groundnuts and cashew nuts, the nuts and honey?
Yeah. One of the things that really motivated me to get into it, previously I used to be a rugby player. Okay. So you'll find during the floodlights or Safari Sevens or Driftwoods, at that particular time you're supposed to play 3 or 4 games in a day. And you can't eat anything heavy, because if you eat anything heavy, you won't, after 2 or 3 games, you won't be able to play the third or the second or the third game. So the only alternative was peanuts, which is high in proteins and it's able to give you the energy that you might need. But now I started doing research to know what can I incorporate in peanuts that will make it more nutritious. So as I used to go to the supermarkets and all that, you'll either find a peanut butter made of peanuts only, or a butter made of cashew nut only. So that's when God now gave me the idea of being able to mix the peanuts together with the sim peanuts together with the cashew nut. And being a sports person, the beauty of sim, it strengthened the body bones, and besides that also the body muscles. So it's highly nutritious. It's only that it's a seed that people don't know much about it.
So you narrowed down to that. The peanuts and the sim, when you mix them together, they were able to give you some sort of energy. Yeah, as a rugby player.
Yeah, they were able to give me some sort of energy.
Yeah.
And I thank God at that particular time that I was doing all that. I remembered when we were growing up, when in the village, our grandmother used to give us peanuts that was mixed with sesame seeds. Stew that is made of peanuts that is mixed with sesame seeds. So yeah. I had to go back to her to get more knowledge on it and why they were mixing it, and on which ratios that they were using. And as much as I went to her now during her sunset years, her health was failing, and I'm happy on the knowledge that she gave me on how to be able to select the best peanuts, the best sim, and how to sieve especially the sim, because mostly you'll find that sim comes with a lot of small stones. So to be able to sieve and make sure that whatever you are processing doesn't have those small stones. I remember now, after coming back to Nairobi doing production, I had to go back to the up country to take the finished product to her, and she was so delighted. And at that particular time, she was almost 88 years old.
Okay.
And on that, we did find out that as she was consuming it, her health was regaining, and even her appetite, and she could walk for longer distance than she used to. So it's something that, as much as she helped me in knowing on how to go about it, it's also something that I could see was helping her health-wise. So that's when I now started doing more research to know about it. That's when I was able to find out that it can strengthen bones. Peanut butter mixed with sim, it's able to strengthen bones, to strengthen your body muscles. Besides that, you'll find that it's high in minerals, magnesium, potassium, and all that. And that's why you'll find that most of the pediatricians will, or maybe when expectant mothers are visiting their normal clinic visits, they are given folic tablets, and most of the minerals that are in that folic tablets, you can easily find them in the sim. And you'll find that if you are a rugby player or any sports that you're playing, you need to have strong bones, strong muscles, which is something that you are able to easily get it from this peanut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's very good, because maybe at times we ignore traditional knowledge that has been passed, from generation to generation. So
Quite
from what
true.
you're saying, from what you're saying, it's actually that traditional, the knowledge that your grandmother
Yes.
passed to you, that was able to ignite, that business idea that you had, because you saw it. The idea and the mixture was helping her regain her strength.
Yeah.
And even for you, as you're blending them and mixing, it also helped you regain your strength, or even add to your strength as a rugby player, because
Yeah.
doing 3 or 4 matches a day, it's quite strenuous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite strenuous, and
Yeah.
it can easily take a toll on you.
Yeah.
And luckily now, as by the way I had started doing research on the peanut butter, it was able to help me in one way or another.
Yeah.
And besides that, I could see that the progress, because my grandmother, you'll find that at that particular, it had reached when she was around 90. She passed on when she was they were some of the uncles were saying 95, others were saying she was 97. So we are not sure. People born during her time, dates was something hard for them to keep. In her 90s, you'll find that there was, before she started taking the peanut butter, she'd once in a week maybe get out of the compound and all that.
Yeah.
But after she started now taking continuously the peanut butter and all that, she could get out of the compound almost on a daily basis to go for a stroll, to stretch herself and all that. So it's something that I saw, helping her health-wise.
Yeah.
And besides that, there's also one of my clients, a lady. She has a son who has autism, and she was telling me that the son is a poor feeder. What would I recommend? So I just told her, I think the peanut butter that will be good is the one that has peanuts, cashew nut, and flaxseed. And as the way the son has been taking it, her statement was, I've noticed when my son takes your peanut butter, the autism episodes that we normally used to have really reduced. So I again went to do research, and I found out that flaxseed is able to assist the children that have autism. So it's one of the key things that business that I really say that it's a God's idea.
Yeah.
He just used me.
Yeah.
Because you find that the reports, the positive reports that you're getting from people who are using your products,
Yeah.
the only thing you can say is that this is God's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how would you say, I can't see myself just sitting and thinking, let me mix peanut and sim, other than God having given me the idea.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, something even reminding me something that I have that I used to feed on when I was still a very young boy in the village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you said is it's true and quite interesting, because in processing the products, then we increase the chances of someone accessing that food.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of food everywhere, but
Yeah,
unless
quite
it's
right.
processed in a way that it can be consumed easily
Yeah.
and in a more convenient way,
Yeah.
then we have issues of food availability and access, because it could be very far.
Yeah.
Can imagine sim and groundnuts, they are grown mostly in Western Kenya,
Western
isn't it?
Kenya, that's
But
quite
through
true.
your business and your value addition, then maybe all that someone needs maybe is a spoon.
Yeah.
And they have all the natural goodness,
Goodness
that they need for their body.
That's quite true.
Yeah, so value addition is very key, I think, for food security and availability.
Yeah, it's a very key, and that's an area that I'll really like to encourage most of the entrepreneurs to venture into value addition. And the beauty of it, when you venture into value addition, especially in the food sector, it's hard for you, if your product is quality, it's hard for you to not to have market of your products. Because when it comes to, maybe I don't have a place to stay, I can convince you, can give me a sofa in your sitting room, I'll sleep. But with food, I'll have to eat.
Yeah.
And especially if it's something that is quality, that's adding nutritional value to people, definitely people will go for it. Just an example, last week I was in one of the supermarkets.
Yes.
I had gone, and I saw there's these, most of the cooking flour that the ugali flour that in the market are sifted.
Yes, yeah.
So I saw there was a flour being sold there unsifted. And the price was 450.
Yeah.
And this other one that is sifted, and also it has been added with other additives in it, it's 250. So I asked one of the superintendents,
Yeah.
do people really buy this flour?
Yeah.
And he was like, I wish you knew. These
Wow.
things moves like
Yeah.
everything. People are going back to the traditional food
Yeah.
because they find it to be highly nutritious.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, that's why we should study the consumer trends to know where the market is going, because that is close to double, isn't it? From, you said the other one was 250, and 450. It's double, but same quantity, but the nutritional value is different.
It's different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good example
of
how consumer purchasing behaviors are changing over the years.
Yeah, they are actually changing over the years, and you'll find that most of the consumers are now trying to go the natural way. And one of the key things, as per what I've done, that's my thinking, as per the research that I've done, most of the natural products are more sweeter than the ones that have been added chemical preservatives and additives. You'll find that it normally alters the tastes.
Yeah, okay.
But there's that natural taste that gives a product its sweetness that people are always yearning for, especially when they have tasted that product.
Now, when it comes to business, how are you able to identify it as a viable business idea? Because a lot of times, food is good. Food, we all know the nutritional value of food.
Yeah.
But then you have to look at it as a business, from a business angle.
Okay.
How are you able to assess, justify that this is a good opportunity to pursue as an entrepreneur?
Okay. I had done some research, even I had some literature material on the same. But there is that fear of the unknown that I had, which I was afraid to start.
Okay.
So luckily, there is pastor who pastors in our church, Pastor Diola and Pastor Favor, his wife. I really thank God for them because I remember at one time, by then I was working as a credit controller in a company. Yes, I was in a company. So he just asked me, haven't you, do you have an idea of any business that you can do? Or you are just comfortable and happy with the where you are employed and all that? So I told him, in fact, I'm looking for a job. I want to move from where I am. So he told me, so you don't have any idea of the business? I told him about the peanut butter business that I'm thinking of starting and all that.
Yeah.
So when I told him that, he just kept quiet and told me, it's something that you should really think about it. If that's if it's strong in your heart, it's something that you should think about it. Always know that any good and perfect gifts come from the Lord, and that a business which is able to generate income for you, that's a good gift. So definitely it's from God.
Yeah.
So after a week of having that conversation, I received a phone call from him.
After a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, since you have been having that idea of that business, when are you starting? Oh,
Wow.
I'm thinking about, I don't have money, but I'm thinking about it, on how I'll get money. So he told me, if it truly that idea is from God, I'm sure he'll give you the money. So start preparing yourself to start. So after that, I hung the phone, and I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
So he would call me almost on a weekly basis. I would dread seeing his phone.
Yeah.
My phone ringing, and I'll see his name. I'll dread even picking it. But I thank God because it was out of love.
Sure, yeah, it
And
was.
besides out of love, there is that how we like call it, that that potential that he saw in me, and also he saw in the business. So that drove me to start the business. And I'm so happy because he told me, if truly indeed that business idea is from God, I don't want to see you starting it with taking a loan. Use the resources that you have.
Wow.
So I was like, now, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
So what I did, I just sent my resignation to the cooperative that I was in. I took the shares that I had. I was saving through it. And I started buying the blender for blending. The peanut, I'll roast them using the Jiko at that particular time. So every Friday after work, 5:15, I'd leave, go home, roast until past midnight for the peanuts that I'll be able to blend the whole week. So that's how I started it.
Oh, so you started the business while you're working?
Yeah, I started the business while I was working, and I converted one of the bedrooms as the production and the packaging place in one of the bedrooms. So you can imagine the nice moments that I was having with my wife. In quotes. She'll really, she was like, no, you're messing up everything and all that. But I thank God she understood, and she also saw the potential in the business. And I started just by selling to the colleagues. And as selling to the colleagues, I could see the potential of being repetitive. And at that particular time, I was so much focused on getting feedback from the clients, because it's something that I was learning through YouTube and the literature that I have gathered from different places that I was just reading and gathering, and also now getting their feedbacks on how the peanuts are. So it's one of the key things. And I remember the first batch of the peanut butter that I was making, they were so bitter because I had over roasted the peanuts. I had to go back to up country. My mom, my aunt, and my grandmother showed me on how to roast peanuts using a jiko well. So it was such an interesting moment. Time.
Yeah, I think ideas are just around us, I think.
Yeah.
It's just to identify them.
It's true, ideas are always around us. One is identifying them, and also one of the key things I noticed is having the right people surrounding you, and also it will depend on how you'll digest what you hear some of the people saying, because like for me, I thank God Pastor Diola, Pastor Favor, they really encouraged me. They pushed me to the wall.
Yeah.
My wife also and my mom, they really encouraged me in doing it. My colleagues whom I was working with in the company, when they heard that I was resigning to go and continue making peanut butter, they were laughing, and even some of them who were buying stopped even buying, or even when we meet, they'll always be in a hurry. But funny thing, those are the same people that at the moment, some of them will come back asking that I have an issue, are you able to assist me on? So it really depends on the people who you surround yourself with, what they'll say. Even if they say something that is negative, try to sift it.
Yeah.
Just know that God brought you to this world with a purpose.
Yeah.
Strive to find that purpose and walk within it. Work towards it, no matter what other naysayers will say. The dogs will always bark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, and we don't have to listen to the back.
I don't have. Actually,
we just ignore.
If you've noticed that, if you go to even any of your friends who has a dog, when it barks when you enter the gate, if you ignore it, it will stop barking. But if you give it the attention, it will continue barking. So even if the naysayers, they have anything to say, just ignore them. At the end of the day, you are the one who will have the last laugh.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I like what you've said about surrounding yourself with positive people. People will build you up, eh?
Yeah.
Like Pastor
Diola
and Pastor Favor. Even as they kept pushing you,
yes.
You know, at times someone can, you know, run away from them because it's so much pressure. You don't even know where to start. Eh? But he kept encouraging you. That you can do it. Come on, you know, Samuel, you can do it.
You can do it. And the beauty of it,
yeah.
You know, when you are so naive, you'll go and look for an excuse that you think now, this is, if I give him this excuse, he won't have a solution, he'll understand.
Yeah.
I'll go with that excuse. He'll give me the simplest solution of that particular excuse that will make me now start thinking, hey, I need to listen more of him, as much as I'm trying to run away from him.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, even since the way I've started the business, the way I have grown, he has never even demanded even a single cent from me. All that he asks me and he tells me, I'm looking forward to see your products being sold internationally.
Wow.
That's what gives him joy. So it really matters, even the people that you surround yourself with and the people that you listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned that you had some, you know, ups and downs, maybe from discouraging words from people.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other challenges that you faced in general, as an entrepreneur? As you started your business, what are some of those challenges that you encountered and how did you overcome them?
Actually, the challenges are normally many, but the beauty of it, you'll always have to be creative to find a way around it. Like most of the information that you'll want to get from the government institutions, the most disadvantaged thing is that you'll find most of the government institution, 90% or 80% of the employees who are there, they don't even know what goes in there. Only the 20%. So you'll be lucky enough to get that 20% in order to get that information.
Okay.
And what really helped me is that I'll go to a certain government institution that I want to get information. You'll get information that you yourself know that this is not the right information. Try to come again next time and try to look for somebody different.
Okay.
Ask the same question, you'll get another information. Come again until that particular time that you'll get somebody that you'll get information from, that you'll see now this is the right information, or this is the information that makes sense, that you can resonate with.
Yeah.
Then you move on.
Yeah.
Another thing was in regards to the name, the capital. You know, when you're making that projection that now I'm resigning, I want to start, this is the money that I'm getting from the cooperative that I was in, this is the money that I'm getting as a pension for the years that I've worked for this company. So you put it in pen and paper, it all looks rosy, but when you are outside, things look different, things end up being different. So at that particular time when I was working the peanut butter that I was making, it was through just client feedback and YouTube. And now as I was talking to Pastor Diola, and he asked me if there is an institution that can really train a person on peanut butter making, because he told me, you know, there are so many brands and you have to find an edge, to have an edge in order for your products to sell. So I started scouting and was able to get Kenya Industrial Research Development Institute, KIRDI, which was very welcoming.
Yeah.
But now you'll find that the peanut butter, I wanted to do it naturally, not using chemical preservative in them. So with that, you'll have to do a lot of product development, a lot of tests, and all of them cost money. To an extent, I remember by the time now I had gotten the measurement and on how to make it naturally. At that particular time, all the money that I had, the resources that I had saved from my previous employer, I had depleted everything. So I didn't have anything to go about with. But luckily, my wife was able to assist me, and also there are some trainings that I was doing to people who wanted to also to venture into the same business, and they'll pay me. So that's what really may help me to be able at least to have something to start with.
What duration did the product development process take?
Well, the product development process took 3 years. And in fact, that's the reason why I came to understand why a company like Coca-Cola, a global company with all the resources, it will be easier for them to buy Minute Maid company that makes juice other than them starting their own juice from scratch. Product development really takes a lot of time, a lot of resources, and because you make something, there are some you'll be able to put in a container, put it near in a window where there is a bit of a sunlight, near direct sunlight, others in a cool place. After some time, you scoop them, take them to the lab, you test to see how they are reacting. Have they started forming mold? Have they started maybe forming acid? How are they reacting when you put them direct to the sun and all that? So it's quite a tedious process. But with patience, it's something. If you are looking to have something that will stand out, and you need to have patience, and with patience, you'll be able to get a product that you want.
How have you been able to differentiate yourself from other companies that are doing something similar to what you're doing? You know, making peanut butter or honey. So what is your differentiating factor, your competitive advantage?
One of the key things is that I can assure you, if you go to the market, you won't be able to get peanut butter mixed with Sim.
Okay.
You'll either get peanut butter plain or Sim being sold as tahini.
Yes.
Sim plain.
Yes.
or peanut butter. You won't get peanut butter mixed with cashew nuts. You'll only get cashew nut butter. But because of the new, because for me, as per the research that we did, by combining 2, 3, or 4 seeds together, it makes the peanut butter to be highly nutritious. That's one. Number two, one of the key things is that people don't know there are so many varieties of peanut, but there are those specific variety of peanut for peanut butter. The one, especially if you are doing natural peanut butter that has got medium oil level.
Okay.
Those are the ones that we source and use in making our peanut butter, which I'll say it's an edge that we have over the others who just use any peanuts for making peanut butter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of the fat content, I think, in the nuts. So that also plays a factor.
Yeah,
as you select the nuts that you're going to use.
Yeah. It plays a factor, because keeping in mind you're not using any chemical preservatives that is able to arrest the fat so that they may not separate when the peanut has when you have packaged the peanuts. But you'll find that in our peanut it will separate because we don't use those chemical preservatives to arrest the peanuts. But one of the key things we have clearly written on the label that when the fat separates, you are able to mix it using the spoon, the normal the spoon at home, or if you want, you can store it upside down. The fat will be able to mix itself with the peanuts.
Okay.
Yeah. And on the honey part of it, having known that honey is the second most adulterated product, the systems and the measures that we have put in place to make sure that we get the best honey, I'll say that they have been working for us.
Okay.
And besides that, besides adulteration, one of the other things that we do, even before purchasing the honey, even if the honey passes the lab tests that will undertake it in, we still use the mouth test to get that, to find out if the taste is acidic or it has a false taste or even smell. And all these are factors that have been brought up by nature, depending on where the honey, the hives were kept, and the flowers that were flowering at that particular time. An example, if I may able to give, there's honey. If the honey that you have is from a sisal area,
yes,
it will be a bit bitter, and if you put it in tea, now when you're sipping the tea, you know that vapor that will be coming, you'll find that it's coming with an awful smell, an off smell that most of the people don't like it. So we also have to be sure that we are not just buying any honey, as much as it's good quality. What of the smell? What of the taste?
You know, you've said that. I've remembered that I bought honey and it was quite bitter. And you're thinking, is this honey? Honey is supposed to be sweet. Eh? So I think I actually understand. As a business person, can you imagine buying a whole ton or such large quantities of honey that has that bitter taste? Eh?
Yes.
It can be quite something. Because will you process it, or what will happen to it?
Actually, you'll find that people will process it. Some of the people in business won't mind. They'll process it, put in the market.
Yeah.
You buy that bitterness, sort yourself out.
Yeah.
But we are so sensitive also on the people that we are serving, the market that we are serving, the clientele we are serving. We are not, yes, as a business, we are looking to make profits. And that profits comes from valuable clients, not just clients, but clients that we value. So whatever we give them, we are also want to make sure that the way they are willingly buying our products, we are also giving them the best. And we are looking for a long-term partnership, not just a short-term thing that we are having here and there. Because if you look at it in a broader picture, if we fail because we are selling our bad product, we won't have clients.
Okay.
When we don't have clients, like at the moment, the employees that we have, we won't be able to pay them. and maybe there are people that are dependent on them. The farmers the ones that we are using for honey and the ones that we want to start using for peanuts, they also have families and people that are depending on them. So it's a whole value chain that will be affected.
Yeah.
We also pay taxes to the government.
Maybe just to clarify, honey from size of flowers is not bad. It's just that it has a bitter taste.
It has a bitter taste because of that particular
flower,
which comes from the nectar that comes from the sisal plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which may not be what the consumer wants, because now since you're in business, most of the consumers might not want to buy bitter honey, but it's still good honey and
good honey.
It has its medicinal properties.
It has its medicinal properties and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.